Hello, Aspire. Welcome back after your trip to Ukraine.
Well, thank you for having me. It's approaching the holidays. We have Halloween, a Jod Day coming up. So, season's greetings for that.
Every time we meet, you are coming back from Ukraine. This time from Carpathy Mountains. Previously, you were in Dnipro. How is it happening?
Well, I have to say that I was in Uremche, which is kind of a resort village out in the Carpathian Mountains, but without the resort prices. So, plug for that if you're looking for some vacation ideas. But very beautiful. The leaves were changing, caught it at just the right time, and just really a fantastic nature out there. And I highly recommend anyone to share the experience of being there.
It's a strange opinion because every time I'm telling somebody that I'm going to Ukraine here in Poland, there is war, there is shelling, hide somewhere. Are you? How are you going to survive there? And you are like chilled out completely after your trip. Highly recommended. How are you doing this?
Well, I mean, it's not a high priority area to be targeting these mountain villages. I can't say the same for Kiev. A friend of mine was just asking about it, and of course, Kiev is receiving a lot of artillery currently being centered on the city. So it's different stories for different places. I mean, a place like Yaremcha, a resort town, not a priority for these kind of military attacks. So it was very peaceful. It was a bit different. I was there last year as well. And we did have some action, alarms going off, fighters in the skies, but of course nothing ever happened in Yaremcha. But at that time it was a bit more intense. But now the Russian forces have focused their attention on more strategic areas.
I would really like to go into your trip to Dnipro a few weeks back, because recently I was going to Germany with a train, and I met a family, two women, probably mother and her daughter, with a grandchild going to Germany. They told me that okay, the first 3 years of wars we could endure somehow in Dnipro because they are living in Dnipro, so near the front line, and they told me that recently, like last 2 3 weeks, the bombing is so often, there is even up to 500 bombs every night, that they would rather go to Germany to look for some brighter future, because they say we are not even able to sleep. And here is interesting thing, because you were like 1 month ago in Dnipro, yeah?
Right.
How was your experience?
Yeah, well, I can say that time that I was there was, I mean, it was quite fantastic to really see this side of Ukraine that very few foreigners do. I mean, it was pretty far east, it's on the Dnieper River, and it got very intense on the second or third night that I was staying there.
What do you mean by intense?
Well, it literally lit up into a war zone. We had over 20 drones shelling into the city, or not shelling, but rockets into the city as well. And that was, you're stepping out of your home, and the sky is illuminated in orange glow from fires, from flares, from anti-aircraft guns being shot. So anti-aircraft artillery being shot, trying to defend from these drones, defend the city from these drones.
But did you hear much noise? The bombs dropping onto. Yeah?
Yes, yes. Just meters from the house that I was staying in, I saw a drone in our neighborhood,
Yeah.
and I mean, I could see the full thing. It was that close. Thankfully, our neighborhood was not a target, but I mean, the explosions were going off right nearby, and some homes nearby the neighborhood did end up being destroyed during this time. And so, yeah, it
But
was
did
very.
you hide in any shelter after the alarm?
No, I mean, for me, I kind of have this one opinion that not opinion, but belief that since my time in the military, when I was serving in Baghdad, Iraq, that when it's your time, and when the alarms are going off, you have. If you're more than 15 seconds away from a bunker, you're instructed to just lay on the ground and cover your head. So that's really only to possibly save your head from being severed from its body, from being decapitated. So rather than worry about surviving without a few limbs, if what they were using at the time, mortars and rockets, were to explode close enough to you to cause this kind of damage, better maybe to just
Give up.
yeah, better to maybe just accept your fate. So it was my same opinion when I was in Dnipro. I don't really have any kind of qualms with death, no fear about it. So if the bomb drops, it drops. What can I say? But it took me aback when I saw that drone in the sky, and I was there with my flashlight, and I had to turn it off, not knowing whether the drone is going to see the light and then be drawn to it, or the pilots, they have their missions, whatnot. So I'm sure random lights were not the focus.
The next day after you woke up, after such night, was the life on the street like normal? People went to work, or public transport was working like on the daily basis? Yeah.
Yeah, everything just continued as normal. I mean, while I was there in Dnipro, the alarms went off several times. There were explosions. I mean, you can hear the war almost daily off in the distance, because Dnipro itself is only, 300 kilometers from the front lines of the war. So pretty much whenever there was any kind of bombing going on in any other cities or villages nearby the area, we'd hear it.
Okay. And did you see any recruiters catching people to the army? The famous man. You haven't seen any.
I didn't see any myself. I didn't. I wasn't accosted by any body snatchers. I have a friend who, actually a mutual friend of ours, Marcus, was subject to this while he was in Kiev, but no, I didn't see it. I didn't experience it, and I'm grateful that I didn't have to deal with that.
Okay, I can tell you my story here. 2 years ago. I was in Lviv in summer, and I was walking through the street, and I was the only male, like younger military age male on the street, and there was one guy from the army catching me by the arm and telling me, "Show me your documents." I thought, what is going on? So I started talking Polish, even though I speak Russian and a bit of Ukrainian. And he looked at me. Oh, I'm sorry. Like nothing happened. So, and afterwards I go farther. There was like older pensioner who told me, listen, watch out, because they are catching young guys and they are throwing them into army. So be aware, guys. So if anyone is catching you in Ukraine on the streets and is trying to bring you into army, try speaking Polish. It will scare them away.
And of course, have your passport on you. I mean, that's the easiest way to get out of it.
But
yeah.
in my case, he hasn't even checked my passport, so maybe at least learn few sentences in Polish, so they will let you go free.
Yeah, better than being put into the meat grinder. Yeah. Well, it's an interesting thing. I don't know if you heard from this latest conference of rabbis. They're saying that the war will end in January, or at least one notable rabbi. I can't remember his name. Sorry, it's not Shmuley. Which I would say is plausible, very likely, because after all, it's just Israelis, Americans, mostly Jewish powers, corporate powers that have the contracts for rebuilding Ukraine. And plan to, of course, diversify it.
But have you seen menorah in Dnipro, or you don't know where it is?
Menorah, are you talking about like the actual menorah candle, or is that the name of the location?
So in the city center of Dnipro, there is a golden building called Menorah. It's a holy temple of chosen nation occupying the one country, in the Middle East. So yeah, it's very impressive, because Dnipro is it's also a beautiful city, but in the very very city center you can check this Jewish temple where all Jews from all over the world come to pray in this place. So maybe this rabbi had something on his mind, telling that the war will end in the middle of January. Yeah?
Yeah, well, of course, the Jews, they're celebrating or carrying on business as usual because I mean, just like when I was there in Dnipro, they were actually in the midst of filming, or they just wrapped on filming a lovely little Jewish show where all these Jews get to compete for money. It's kind of like.
I thought it's AI video.
No, no, no. It was for this menorah building. They're staying in the menorah or something like this, and they're. It's like a Big Brother show, and they're competing for some sum of money. And this is like going on during the war. And of course, we all know this isn't a real war because it's just like you don't stop a war for the holiday of any people. In this case, they were stopping the Russians were stopping bombardment during, I think, Purim, or I don't remember what holiday it was. About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Jewish holiday. But yeah, they just happened to stop for this period of time so that they could. So the Jews could celebrate over there. They had many on the Polish border trying to get into Ukraine. It's of course not to serve in the Ukrainian military and protect the country, but to celebrate their lovely holiday.
And how did you go there? Did you go by train? Did you cross the border through Lviv? I mean, going to the Dnipro or to Yaremche, to Karpaty?
It was all by bus, which was unfortunate, but it is kind of it's the fastest and most convenient way. I would recommend going by train, but we tried to go by train, but the scheduling, the timing of everything just didn't quite work out. So yeah, went all the way by bus. That was okay. Had to stop off in Ivano-Frankivsk. I never say this right, but
Ivano-Frankivsk.
Ivano-Frankivsk. And yeah, I've been there as well. Very nice city. Not diverse at all. I never saw any non-white people there, which was and in Yaremcha didn't see any non-white people there, which is mostly the same throughout the Ukraine, which is another comment I would put on Dnipro. I only saw one black person in the entire city, and this is a fact that you would notice anywhere in Ukraine, which is quite interesting because, of course, there's a lot of pro-Russian or just anti-Ukrainian sentiment that's like, oh, Ukrainians, that's already a hodgepodge of race mixed, misogynist. Not misogynist. Well, what's the word?
Xenophobic?
No, 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 not this. I was looking for the technical term for race mixing. But anyway, but it's simply not the case. And just like how we have even in Poland, the transgenderism and LGBT is completely alien to them, especially when you get to areas in cities like Dnipro. They're just like, it's just a Western thing in their minds.
Yeah.
It doesn't really exist there.
I can also share my experience for my trip to Lviv. So what I have seen, that I was also there during bombing, so I have heard the alarms and so on, but people don't care about it anymore. So I saw people drinking beer in the bar, alarms going on. Even one bomb has fallen onto some building, so people got just used to it. And the second thing that I have observed was that streets were full of young, beautiful Ukrainian women, but there were no men around completely, and also no foreigners because they are scared. So they were like my two observances. And second of all, people, when they saw me that they are Polish, they were very friendly, and they were asking me questions. What the hell are you doing here, and so on. But besides that, Ukraine during war, maybe it's my portrait of this country from 2 years back. Maybe now it's worse, but people are living normal lives. And they are also very often waiting for opening of the borders because they would like to leave, they would like to see West, to make money, and very often they don't want to go into slaughterhouse to serve in the military in this pointless war. So my experience was very positive, and also I have visited Karpaty and also Yaremcha as you did. Beautiful place, uh, very green, quite cheap comparing to another countries. Very calm. There no garbage on the streets. Everything was clean, well organized. Even Ukraine is famous for bad roads. In this part of Ukraine, I haven't observed it. My observation was that it was actually good taken care of. So yeah, mountains. So we have both visited during war mountains. Yeah, you visited Kiev, was good. Dnipro and Lviv. Something more you would like to add?
Man, I have to say, yeah, when you're out there, to again be sure to have your passport. Be sure maybe to know a foreign language so you don't end up being wrapped up in something you don't want to be in. Yeah. And but also on top of that, I wish the Ukrainian people the best. We know how hard these times are, and especially right now. I mean, the Russian unfortunate Russian, or I would actually like to say the Putin terror machine is now acting in the most horrible way and targeting the energy centers for preparation of the winter.
Did you experience lack of energy there?
Briefly. There were like some scheduled shutdowns where they're trying to do some repair work, some things like that during these times after attacks or something like that. But yeah, so the Russians have an old saying about general winter. I can't remember what it is in Russian, but they're very much leaning on that, and so they're really gunning hard for the energy centers in Ukraine. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm asking because a friend of mine, he's living in Kiev, and he told me that recently they have only like 4 hours a day electricity and hot water or warm water in a tap. They will be having in 1 week, according to the news. So not nice. If anyone from Ukraine is watching us, please let us know if it's not a BS or we are telling the truth. So yeah, guys,
Leave your comments below.
Yeah, be one of the 50 viewers of our channel. Okay, guys. See you into next topic. Bye.